Okay, it's the return of patwo now, so here he is. The lions in the jungle. Sometimes I stay awake, listening for the lions in the jungle. Of late they have been reticent. I imagine they must be wearing slippers. I search the yard for paw prints. Each morning nothing. It is a puzzle. I know little of their sex life. I expect they sleep around like other creatures of the night. My wife has been missing 3 years. I think the lions in the jungle ate her. I can't be certain. She didn't leave a note, just popping out for a bite. The lions in the jungle make me feel secure. When you have them to fear, it is pointless fearing people. The neighbours pretend not to have heard of the lions. What lions, they exclaim, this is city, not jungle. I am certain they are mad, or just ordinary folk scared of their own shadows, so scared of the lions they refuse to acknowledge their existence. You and I know different, do we not? We take precautions to keep the lions on our side, or at least at bay. An ornamental pool of milk, compost bins full of fish, fresh deer hanging on spits, bonfires to keep the lions warm. I invite them round for dinner. They are shy, poor dears, but in the morning the food is always gone. I am certain the neighbours are mad. They say it is just kids, but you and I know different, do we not? You and I have counted the long blonde hairs in the damp grass, noted the occasional article of underclothing playfully stolen from washing lines by irreverent cubs then left behind, mused over flattened patches of grass where the big lions have evidently rolled in play. You and I know what the lions in the jungle get up to. Such horrid, perverse creatures, no respect for their betters. They forget who built the jungle, who designed their concrete trees. I am certain the neighbours are mad. They say it is a city like any other. They say it is not jungle. They refuse to believe in lions. They simply refuse to share our fears. Selfish lot. You and I know better, do we not? So we can but dream. This is Shoes with Ambition. These shoes hanker for a better life, somewhere else on someone else's feet. They don't look happy to face the street. They want to return to the wardrobe's safe darkness, tentacles of other laces caressing their pitted hide. These shoes don't want to be so chunky, so suburban. They long to be snappy Italian loafers, strolling through the Via Conda on the way to a hot date. They imagine sultry female feet approaching, scarlet toenails slipping free of sandals. These shoes want to share abandonment with her shoes beside the waterbed in a cool room scented by lime trees, not setting out for Tesco, not knowing when the bus will turn up. There's been quite a few poems tonight about travelling in different parts of the world, and this is just a poem about the feeling when you are travelling somewhere and suddenly you feel released from everything and really free. I think as the Beatles put it, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. So this is at the Spy Stock. I cannot remember your name. I know I met you at the Spy Stock. You told me you were 24, had travelled the world, yet lived in one room. I saw you at the Spy Stock, this I know, and now your name returns. You told me, Janine, and your skin so brown from travelling, from one room to Delhi, from Goa to one room. I saw you at the Spy Stock, Janine. I was going nowhere special. Most of my living is inside my head. You were smoking a French cigarette. I was going nowhere special, and you were so brown from travelling. Thank you. This is a poem about, it's called For Rachel Corrie, and Rachel Corrie was a young American woman who joined the International Solidarity Movement. and she went to Gaza to help the Palestinians. And while she was standing in front of a Palestinian home trying to protect it from demolition, she was killed by an Israeli Defense Force bulldozer. So this is Rachel Corrie. She could be anybody's sister, anybody's friend, anybody's daughter. Because you were just 23 and brilliantly unafraid, I loved you. Because you loved Palestine and I loved Palestine, I loved you. Because you wrote quirky poetry about Dairy Queen and I'm not familiar with that scene, I loved you. Because you stood between the bulldozers and the homes of the poor, I loved you. Because you accepted people and they accepted you, I loved you. Because you lived among those whose lives and welfare were completely strangled, I loved you. Because you spoke up for them and sacrificed your life for them, I loved you. Because when you were 10 you dreamed to stop hunger by the year 2000, I loved you. Because you looked into the future and saw the light that shines, I loved you. Because you believed we're all the same inside, I loved you. Because you looked at the wide world and went to it, I loved you. Because you worried you would have nightmares on your return from Palestine and feel guilty for not being there, I loved you. Because you were as rare as a Monday morning when everyone dances on their way to work. I went to Havana last summer, and while I was there I visited Park John Lennon Park, and when you go there, it's only a small park. You walk into the park and there's a wooden bench with a statue of John Lennon sitting on it, rather fine life-size statue. And as you walk up to the statue, a park ranger emerges from the shrubbery with a pair of John Lennon's spectacles, which he then offers to put on the statue so you can be photographed with John Lennon. And I thought this is fantastic, and probably the only country in the world where someone could be given a job being the keeper of John Lennon's glasses. So here's the poem. Out of the shade steps the keeper of John Lennon's glasses, slips them over the ex-Beatles' bronze ears. I shove up next to the great man, put my arm around his shoulders, made too warm by the heat of the sun. You capture the moment when I meet John Lennon's likeness in Havana, a life-size casting on a bench, one leg draped casually over the other. I attempt to swap specs, but the keeper wags his finger. I take a moment to bless John for his life in my life. I place a coin in the keeper's palm in recognition of the sacred task he has been anointed so to do. It's not every day you meet the keeper of John Lennon's glasses. Let me take you down. So this is my last poem tonight, and it's called Biscuit Girl from Amsterdam. I was travelling back from Amsterdam to London, and the girl sitting next to me offered me a biscuit. Would you like a biscuit? Said the girl sitting next to me on the plane from Amsterdam. Her teeth so white I think she must eat only apples. I appreciatively take one, crunch away. They are like our English biscuit, the hobnob, I say. Her eyes widen, the obnob. Those white teeth again as she digests this important information. We call them country cookies, she says at last. Isn't that funny, I think? Obnob sounds much Dutcher than country cookies. She is on her way to Nepal, where neither obnobs nor country cookies can be easily found. Instead, she will digest the thrill of exploring fresh lands, a world experienced through young senses, opening like a giant lotus obnob in any flavour you like. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to welcome back to the Dodo stage Katrina Naomi. Thank you very much.
I'd like to start with a really new poem, so I can find it, which was commissioned by Agnes. And she asked me to write about the Crossbones Cemetery. I don't know if anybody knows anything about it. It's in Southwark, and